we just talked with your running back there. What's the biggest difference you've seen in AJ's game since when he first came in? And just, I know it was limited sample last year, but getting a little bit of success under his belt and coming into this first full off season.
Yeah, I think it's just, the confidence that he has in terms of what he's doing out there, the consistency at which he's practicing. I think, you could see a guy that really progressed as the season went along in terms of just the attention to detail, the focus, the effort in practice. And I think he had a really good room to learn from. Obviously, we got a great running back coach in Ben Sermons, but it's always good when you have great veterans in that room. And Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams, they set the tone for him, and they were a great example for him to learn from. And I heard you guys' question to him about not getting the ball last year. I thought he was going to come after me a little bit because he was certainly deserving. And I will say it is hard at times to get three who I deem starting backs the football. There's just not enough carries to go around. So I appreciate him not doing that to me.
MK Burgess.
Coach, where do you see, especially just in these first few OTAs, just growth from what he's seen from Aaron Jones? And what do you think of his nickname, the Quad Father or Quadzilla?
Well, I haven't seen too many guys with legs that he possesses. I saw you guys will have to ask him about how we tried to do the watermelon crushing contest in our first live team meeting. I'm skeptical whether or not those watermelons were pre-sliced or not.
Thank you.
Mike Spofford.
Hey, Matt, following up on what you just said about getting AJ the ball, just what did it mean to him and even to you as the coach to see him have that game against Tennessee where he was the guy and really produced for you and shined when, that wasn't an opportunity he got very often?
Yeah, no, that was big time. Obviously that gave us a lot of confidence in him. And I think that confidence really grew as the season progressed. Certainly he was out of the building there for a while. That I think that when he was kind of getting into the groove, it set him back a little bit, and it took him some time to come back from that. But, he's a really intelligent guy that gives great effort on a daily basis. And, we're just really excited about what the future holds for him.
Matt Schneidman.
This might be a dumb question. I'm sure you're not surprised that coming from me. How does it feel seeing Bakhtiari back out there working just 5 months after his injury? And is there any sort of update you can give us on where he is? And are you surprised with where he is given how recently that injury occurred?
Well, Matt, we tell our players there's no such thing as a dumb question. So, you dodged the bullet there. But anytime you have a veteran like that out there at practice, I think it just kind of lifts everybody up, and he's really working hard. I think he came back, and he's in excellent shape. And, we're just going to take it one day at a time, and I think he's a little bit ahead of schedule. But then again, there's a long way until the start of the season, and we'll see where he's at when it comes to that time.
Bill Huber.
Yeah, hi, Matt. On Jordan, I don't know obviously I don't know what you guys are trying to accomplish at practice, but he's checking the ball down a lot. Does he need to, or would you like to see him, I should say, push the ball downfield further, or is he doing exactly what you're looking for in those drills?
I want him to do wherever the read takes him throughout his progression. That one thing that we've really stressed on to him was reading with your feet. And today was the first time that we've had a competitive period that wasn't 7-on-7. So I think there was definitely some learning for everybody on the offensive side. It was a little bit of a rough day for the offense, but typically this time of the year, I think that's pretty normal. Just in terms of the defense is typically ahead of your offense, and so we'll take a look at the tape, and but I think he's really attacking it the right way. The focus is there, the work ethic, and just he's grinding away and trying to get a little bit better each and every day.
Rob Domofsky.
Hey, Matt, has Aaron Rodgers given you guys any indication whether he's coming to the mandatory minicamp or not?
Yeah, I've got nothing to update Rob on that situation, and you guys all know how we feel about it.
Do you expect him to be here? It is mandatory.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see come Tuesday.
Mark Daniels.
Yeah, hey Matt. I guess staying on the quarterback thing. How's Blake kind of getting a handle on your language and how you want things done, and how do you think the guys are? All three of them are just throwing the ball right now at this point.
Yeah, I think Blake's coming along well. He's got some familiarity with a lot of the concepts, and some of the names might be a little bit different than what he's accustomed to, but he's really working hard, and I think he's picked it up pretty quickly. He's a smart guy, and he loves football. So I think overall, in terms of their ability to throw the football, all three of them, I think, there's been steady progress every day, and we expect that to continue.
Dave Schrader.
And Matt, you mentioned with a lot of receivers absent that younger guys would get a chance to get some attention put on them. How would you say Bailey Gaither did with his catches today?
Yeah, Bailey's done some really cool things, especially I think these last two practices. You can kind of see it slowing down just a little bit for him. Obviously made a really nice play on a deep post route that Blake threw a great ball, and Bailey, he can run. So he was able to track it down and really made a nice play on that ball.
Aaron Nagler.
Coach, we've heard Aaron talk a number of times about matching wide receiver routes with his footwork. How much of that work gets put in or started right now with your young guy? You got Jordan out there, obviously, with the ones. How much of that work is going on right now, or is that something that's saved until the start of camp?
Oh, no, it's each and every day, and you got to go out there with, a purpose in mind and make sure that you're really mindful about your footwork and it correlating with the routes, because I think quarterback, the quarterback position is really, for most of these guys, those fundamentals, the timing, the footwork is the foundation for good quarterback play. It allows you to really avoid the negative plays. And so, every rep is so invaluable, and I think you learn so much in terms of what that actual timing really is.
Darius Joshua.
Hey, Coach, kind of following up on that, how have you seen Jordan kind of handle these extra reps and these extra opportunities to build on those things through these first couple OTAs?
Well, I think there's a lot of learning going on. And, like I said, today was the first competitive period that we had with like a real pass rush. And so that definitely throws some extra variables into the mix. It's not that comfortable, nice 7-on-7 where you don't have any pressure and you're just trying to progress through your reads, having the perfect footwork. Now you might have to avoid the rush a little bit, manipulate the pocket, and so I think there's just so much good learning that goes on in those situations.
Jason Wilde.
Hey, Matt, how are you?
Hey, Jason, I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm all right, thanks. So we just had Tonyan in the other room.
You're still working on that, man.
I know.
Tonyan.
I should be better in a lot of ways. So he said, I know this is voluntary, but he did say that you asked him to come. And he said he wasn't going to say no to you. Why was it important for him to be here after what he did last year? Because he's talking about how he needs to be better at the point of attack, and he's got to expand his route tree. For a guy who caught 11 touchdowns, it sounds like he's pretty darn focused on being better than he was a year ago.
Absolutely, and we encourage we'd love all our players to come to these OTAs. I think it allows us, as coaches, to make sure that we're continually making sure they're working on maybe things that they're already good at or some of their areas of weakness. We always try to give these guys a focus each and every day when they go out there, and I think Bobby he's probably progressed as much as any players we've had in the 2 years, and I know he had a really good season last year, and I think there's still more there for him. And I think he's still learning the position, and he continues to get better and better. But I love his attitude. I love his work ethic. I think he's really confident right now. You mentioned right now it's just a great time for us to experiment with him on different routes. And so hopefully we can feature him a little bit more in our offense next season.
Wes Hodkwitz.
Yeah, Matt, I was kind of going to ask about Tonyan too. With him and his skill set, why do you think he was such a good fit for what you guys do offensively? I know it's an offense that's, works with tight ends, but it seems like he really was a natural fit for the scheme that you wanted to do.
Yeah, I just think there's so much that he can do. And again, I thought as an inline player last year, he progressed throughout the course of the season. Certainly he was much better last year than he was in 2019, and we tell these guys, hey, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're never staying the same, and I think he takes that to heart and loves to be challenged. I think Justin Outen does an unbelievable job with that whole room. I think it's great to have a guy like Mercedes Lewis here who's played this game and is a pro's pro, and he's played it at such a high level, and he's another great resource for Bobby to kind of pick his brain and lean on and learn from.
Stephanie Sutton.
Coach, I know you said you don't have an update, but as a head coach, how important is it for you to have Aaron Rodgers out there practicing with the team next week?
Oh, I think like I said, it's important that we have all our guys, and certainly, we'd love them to be here, and hopefully we'll see them Tuesday.
MK Burgess.
Coach, where's the biggest area that you would like to see Jordan improve on in these off-season workouts before you guys really hit training camp?
Well, I think there's a lot of areas in terms of just he had limited reps last year, and some of these plays that we're asking him to go out there and execute, he may have ran only once or twice throughout the course of the preseason. So I just think there's a lot of learning going on right now, and we want to get it to a point where he's not out there thinking about his footwork. He's not thinking about the timing. He's just kind of it's automatic, and he can go out there and focus on the little details of maybe some of the looks that the defense is presenting him with, and then making, whether it's protection adjustments or whatever it may be, there's a lot that goes into that position. And so I think just every opportunity, every rep is a rep to learn from. And I think he's had a great attitude, and he's really attacking it the right way.
Ryan Wood.
I was going to ask you about the checkdowns with Jordan too, because I remember last year during the offseason, we saw Aaron starting to hit those checkdowns more than what we'd seen in year one. And we talked about how that was kind of a progression of the offense. Is that the same with Jordan? Is that an example of him better knowing the playbook and the scheme and being more comfortable in it from year one to year two?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is just what you're presented from a defensive perspective. And certainly if the defense isn't going to let you throw it over their head, then you got to be willing to take those check downs. And I think sometimes if you're doing it a lot of quarterbacks might get frustrated and start to press. We just want them to read each play as its own entity and don't predetermine anything. Just read with your feet, go through your progression, and ultimately get the completion to whoever the open guy is.
Do two more. Bill Huber.
Hey, Matt, this is in context of Bakhtiari, but more of a philosophical question for you. With a guy like him, do you have to be careful, or when the training camp, again, we're looking ahead a couple months here, but when the training staff says he's good to go, is he good to go? I guess how are you going to weigh that here in a couple months?
Yeah, I think you just that's there's a lot of people that are involved in that decision, and David's certainly one of them. And I know that he's a guy that loves to push himself, and I know he's chomping at the bit to be out there with his teammates. But ultimately, sometimes you got to protect these guys from themselves, and I think that's just the mentality he has. That's why he is the player that he is today. And so, we'll be smart about it, and we're going to make sure that he's ready, that he feels comfortable, that our training staff feels comfortable with where he's at before we make any decisions like that.
And last one, Jason Wilde.
Matt, I totally get we're not spending a ton of time on 12 here. Can you help me understand something, though, from a coaching perspective? Obviously, your offense is different when he's running it as compared to Jordan or even Blake, who has a ton of experience but just got here. So as a coaching staff, as an offensive staff, what is your approach in kind of going through these practices and preparing for training camp? Do you have to have like kind of an alternate version of your offense that's going to be run by, non-Hall of Famers? Or what is your approach as a coach to kind of get ready for contingencies?
Well, I think you always try to put the majority of the things that you think you do well as a football team, and present them to the guys. And then this is a great opportunity for us to kind of evaluate, maybe what are some concepts or plays or whatever it may be where, hey, this doesn't seem like it's fitting, or we just need more work at. So I think, we're not by no means are there the training wheels are on. I mean, we're throwing a lot at all these guys, and it's a lot to digest. And, we just want to continue to see them work and attack it with a great attitude, because I do think that's how you get the max results. And, I can't tell you how happy I am and our staff is with just the energy and effort that these guys are putting forth on a daily basis.